Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is Saturday, October 19th. Yeah. We've had three frosts in a row so far. So, what are we going to talk about today? I thought today we'd talk about how would I approach it, like getting into this industry, whether, it's small engine repair, whether it's part time, full time. How would I approach it today versus back in '06? So, stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back. My name is Eric, if you didn't know it, and this is the weekend. Today is Saturday, October 19th, and we're talking about the differences and what it takes to get into the business today versus back in '06. And would I do things differently, I guess, is the question. And the answer is probably no. I never thought it would turn into as big a animal as it did. And most of us never know that, right? And I get asked a lot of times, when's the best time to start a part time business on the side? Today. What are you waiting for? You know, that's the problem with a lot of people, that the idea of, instead of worrying about when to get started, they should be already started and trying to digest as much information as possible. Now, when I got into it, I had business courses in college and stuff like that, but it really didn't relate to what I was doing, right? And I would say that it's even better now than it was back when I first got into it. If you're looking at a part-time for a youngster, retiree, that most of the tools that you need to have a shop, most of you have it, right? You could buy the little set with pliers and, screwdrivers, sockets, end wrenches, open end wrenches for under $100. And you can do it nights and weekends. If you're a retiree, you can do it during the day at your leisure. A lot of people, what I find as far as retirees, they do it for kind of a rest and relaxation. It's kind of a break from whatever else they were doing, that they can sit in their little workshop and just take things apart and see how they work. See, that's the key, is the ability to take something apart, but also the ability to put it back together. I know a lot of people that can take crap apart, but it's remembering how to put it back together is the problem. Or they leave out parts. They have extra parts left over. Is that you? That was me in the beginning. I was like, where'd these come from? And you have to teach yourself. If you have to discipline yourself is a better word for it. And that is to take it off. The first thing you take off, set it farthest away and work your way back. And that way, when you go to reassemble it, you just follow the steps back until you've done it enough times that you recognize a small screw that held the primer bulb on, or the needle or seat, or, anything in that to float. But I would say, it's very lucrative, to get into it today as it was back then. If you got 3 or 4 shops in the area and you're thinking, well, there's probably not any room for me. If you're doing it on a part-time basis, just start with friends and family. Word will get out. I guarantee it. And you can throw up a sign if you're a retiree, and you can decide how much work you want to do, when you want to do it, and for how much. Now, some people supplement their income after retirement because they don't have enough coming in to live comfortably. So they take on a part-time job, right? But this can be your own part-time job, right? You can do it right from home. And you can have, if you have the willingness to learn, this is a great opportunity. If you're just looking for a cash cow, you're probably not going to make it, because if you chase the money, most often the case is you end up hating it, right? Because you feel like you have to keep getting more and more and more instead of concentrating on how to fix stuff and fix it right. See, when I first got into it, you have two aftermarket companies, Stens and Rotary. I highly recommend either one and both, all right? And then you had your OEM manufacturers that had distributors set up for Briggs, Kohler, Hydro Gear, Tecumseh, and they had their own territories, right? And when I got into it, there weren't a lot of options other than just that, right? Now, today, you can deal directly with the Chinese, right? On eBay, Amazon. But what I'm finding more so today, even from a year ago, is the stuff is coming through and it's not the right carburetor, or there's something's not right with it. I had somebody tell me once that the Chinese pedal stuff on eBay are stuff that got rejected by the aftermarket and the OEM companies. And that may be true. I don't know. But what I do know is the quality is not there as it was just a couple of years ago. And you really have to look at it when it comes in. Some of the stuff that I've ordered, and you had the pictures online, on eBay and stuff, I've gotten them in and not even closely resemble what they said they were sending me and for what. And I think that they just get this thing in their head that they'd rather take a chance on getting your money and hoping you take the blame. And when I say you take the blame, I'm saying, well, shoot, I did something wrong, right? Instead of the carburetor come through and something was wrong with it. With your aftermarkets and your OEMs, I hardly ever had that issue. I got what I ordered. And I think that's still the case today. If you order from Stens or Rotary, good chances are you're going to get exactly what you think you're getting. They put in a lot more thought. Specifications. This is the way we want it, and that's how it's going to be, right? So today, a year from last year, I would have told you eBay and Amazon is your best way. But from what I'm seeing now, if you're looking to get the job and get it done right, you might want to look at those companies. But I can tell you right now, none of them will even look at you unless you have a tax ID and you're doing actual repairs. And you got a name of a shop, right? And in the video here just a couple of days ago, we talked about how much to charge, and I told you can't learn on the backs of your customers, right? But there's no reason that you can't charge $15-20 an hour. Any place else, it'd be 6 to 10 times the amount, right? Depending on where they went and to what shop. And build your business not on how much money do I have to have coming in. You have to get enjoyment. And that's the key. Do you enjoy tearing things apart, putting them back together, and seeing them work again? If the answer is yes, then yes, it's very lucrative. If the answer is no, I'm just trying to find something where I can make, some extra money, not so much, because I don't think that you will stay committed to it. And that's how you build a business, all right? Is you start with a thought, you put it into action, and then you keep growing on that action, right? So this year you may have 5 customers, whereas next year you'll have 10 customers. This year you have certain tools. Next year you have a lot of the specialty tools. And that's how you grow a business, is you keep getting bigger and better, right? Because along the way you're going to increase knowledge base, right? You're going to know how to do stuff a lot quicker. So you're going to be able to get stuff in and out. But you still have to have the enjoyment factor. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, then you're not going to do a very good job at it. And you're probably not going to last that long at it. So when you start looking at, should I start a small engine repair business or work for Walmart as a greeter? If you haven't got the passion and the enjoyment for doing, repairs, Walmart greeter may be just your ticket. But I can tell you, I know a lot of guys that are buying stuff, fixing it, and then flipping it. And instead of trying to get customers, they're just looking for buyers of the units. And I've seen them go into the big shops and buy up all their excess inventory of used stuff. We did that. That's how we started. We bought out one and then bought out another. And we started selling on Craigslist. Facebook didn't have much of a marketplace. It was Craigslist is where you put your ad if you wanted to sell something. So you can either work for somebody else and do the repairs, so much an hour. You could buy stuff or find it on the curb somewhere and see if you can't get it going again. It's a good way to learn how to tear things apart and put it back together. And you can flip to make extra money, where you don't have to have that customer relationship of return customers and wanting them to come back, right? You're just doing one-offs. You sold this one on a lawnmower, you may never see him again, right? But we did that in the beginning. But then we started doing the repair side too. So we sold it in the lawnmower, but if there was any problems with it, we knew how to fix it. And we started getting customers. And every year we'd have more customers coming because more people knew about us. You don't have to be independently wealthy to start a small business, to do it part-time. You just got to have the ambition and the willingness to learn and find it enjoyable. Put in the comments what you think. I know that you guys, there's a lot of guys here that got the shops and stuff. What would you guys do different today than just a couple of years ago? How would you start into the business? I'm curious to hear. And for you guys that are thinking about getting in, if you have any questions, shoot them in the comments and I'll definitely answer them. On that note, you guys have a great day and we'll catch you here bright and early tomorrow morning.